Portals are a funny concept where you go into this hole and all of a sudden, you're breaking some international laws, but in a different place than when you once were. Valve decided to make a whole game about this. Two actually. Portal and Portal 2. I wake up in a solitary confinement chamber with a female robotic voice greeting me to Aperture, the company I'm assuming I work for and definitely not a slave for. I get shown the most used mechanic and the name of the game, Portals. It's really cool just teleporting around like having a superpower. I also learn what most tests revolve around, putting a cube on a button, which is harder than it looks. With my incredible ability of putting a cube on a button, I've proved myself responsible enough to handle a portal gun. But I can only place one portal though. I'll show them, only give me one portal.
For your own safety, do not destroy vital testing apparatus.
Eventually, the tests get quote-unquote more difficult with the addition of stuff that can kill you, like plasma balls, raw sewage, and these really adorable military turrets. Aww. I think he loves me. I couldn't bring myself to deactivate these guys, so whenever I could, I would just rotate them into a corner so they stay activated. I learned that portals don't affect momentum at all and get the ability to shoot the second portal. Finally, the tests start getting actually complicated as they combine everything. But it feels a bit late in the testing that they finally do this. There's 19 tests, and finally at test 16, they've introduced everything they had to offer. On one hand, it was nice that throughout testing, they were able to introduce to the player new mechanics or obstacles. But it feels so late in the game that so few tests were able to show off the full potential of the game. That's not to say there weren't any secrets you had to find yourself. There are secrets in the game of these mole people living in the walls.
Shiro, why is there so much copper in the laboratory? And why are there people hiding in the walls?
Huh? What was that? They usually write down their mass hysteria, but it's really cool and creepy to see something like this. I wasn't really talking about any specific test chamber in this game, but Chamber 17 is one that does need to be talked about as you get a companion in the game. A companion cube. It's just a cube with hearts on it. But the cube with hearts on it protects you from danger and is necessary to solve the test. I don't know, do people really like this? Oh my goodness. She's watching you! The test ends with you being forced to destroy the companion cube that has helped you with this difficult chamber. Without it, you'd be stuck here forever, all alone as you always are. It's been with you this whole test, and you are the one who has to destroy it. Yeah, I feel nothing. I don't know, I think the people who are in love with the cube are just crazy. The robotic lady promises me that there will be cake after this final test. But instead, I got lies. And fire. Oh no, whatever will I do? It's not like I can teleport with portals or something. The robotic lady then starts talking to me and telling me to just lay there. Which is weird, because I thought they were pre-recorded messages. I need to use everything I've learned in the test, from using momentum to my advantage and dodging turrets as I make my way through sewers, offices, and the back rooms where I meet a new type of enemy. What the hell was that? I finally meet the robot lady and it's a weird fight. Her ball dropped, and me being a good citizen decided to properly dispose of the ball by throwing it into a fire.
You are kidding me.
Her weakness is her balls. Like a lot of people. So I keep hitting her and grabbing her ball. Oh, her name's GLaDOS. Keep grabbing GLaDOS's balls and burning them until the entire building starts levitating? I finally make it outside, but I'm dragged back in. Portal is a great game. Albeit very short, but there's so much detail in the game with the mole people, and there are so many lines of dialogue that if you don't just stop and wait, you'll never hear all of them.
Authorized activity. Well done. Remember, the aperture signs bring your...
Like I said, it feels like I never really got difficult tests that put everything I learned into one room. So it just feels like wasted potential. It was a good game, and after 4 years, we finally got another one. I wake up in a hotel room, and I'm told to appreciate art. Wow. you should smack that subscribe button. I wake up again, but like a lot later, and meet a core robot named Wheatley, who tells me I have brain damage and sends me on a mission to find a portal gun. Redoing the same test I did in Portal 1 just to make sure I still have my bearings, I do find a portal gun again. Going through some actual new tests and relearning about momentum, Wheatley and I try to figure out how to get me to the surface.
You'll be impressed by this. Yeah, I can't do it if you're watching. Seriously, I'm not joking. Could you just turn around for a second? Alright, you can turn around now. Bam! Secret panel.
But we woke up GLaDOS in the process.
Oh, it's you.
Oops. Well, I guess I'm back to testing. They replaced the plasma balls with lasers that don't kill you in one hit, so that's OSHA regulated. And they can be reflected. GLaDOS is also a lot more malicious than in the last game.
Don't let that horrible person thing discourage you. It's just a data point. If it makes you feel any better, science has now validated your birth mother's decision to abandon you on a doorstep.
The tests are also a lot harder in this game. With more tools too, like the aerial faceplate that just fling you. Oh, it's you.
Oh, did I accidentally fizzle that before you could complete the test?
Yeah, she's still mad about the whole killing her thing. I think I'm going to be testing forever, and no one will ever save me.
Hey, it's me!
Wheatley! I can't hear you! I just need to keep testing. Just play along and Wheatley will save me. So I continue to fly through the air, learn about light bridges, which are bridges made of light. And my favorite turrets are back. I kinda liked it better when they were shooting at me. GLaDOS does give me a little surprise. The surprise of false hope as she rips out my heart and reminds me that I'm an orphan. I keep testing to my impending doom when Wheatley saves me and we hatch a plan to get rid of her neurotoxin and replace her turrets with faulty ones.
I'm gonna have to hack the door so that we can get at it. Technical. You'll need to turn around while I do this. Done. Hacked.
GLaDOS catches me again, but our plan works as she can't kill me and we initiate a core transfer. With Wheatley now in charge, I finally get to escape, and he's evil. Of course he is, he's British, and a moron!
I am not a moron!
Yes, you are. You're a moron they built to make me an idiot.
Well, how about now? Now who's a moron? Could a moron hunt you into this pit? Ah! Could a moron do that? No.
This is peak gameplay. It's just like a metaphor for the state of modern gaming. The column get accelerating. Why did they dig this far down? I'm still falling. I reach Aperture Science, but how it used to be in the 50s with founder and CEO Cave Johnson. The 50s Aperture was interested in the study of repulsion gel that makes everything repulse other things. But it's better to just say it makes things bouncy. But bad news hit Aperture as first they were using Olympians and astronauts to promising the homeless $60 in the 70s. I catch back up with GLaDOS, who Wheatley turned into a potato. I forgot to mention that. So now we're teaming up to stop Wheatley from destroying the place. A new type of gel is introduced, the propulsion gel, because it makes you go fast. Combining the two gels, you start to get really fun and larger tests, as the tests now need you to be able to jump heights and run a long distance. During these tests, GLaDOS claims to recognize Cave Johnson, because she used to be his assistant named Carolyn. We make it to the 80s, where Aperture lost so much money, they had to start using their employees in the test, and then they started spending more money on robots and getting moon dust for their third gel, conversion gel. It just makes places where you can place portals. Cave Johnson was playing with the idea of storing his personality on an AI, but died before it could be achieved, so his assistant Carolyn took over Aperture and eventually became GLaDOS. We make it back up to Wheatley, who is destroying the place but needs our help to complete tests because it scratches his itch. But the best part is, you can just break his screens.
Ah, bless your little primate brain. I'm not actually in the room with you, am I? Yes, alright, okay. This is getting tiresome. I'm surprised you haven't got something better to do, to be honest. They're not even your screens to break. It's vandalism. It's pure vandalism.
Turns out he found something in storage, of which he doesn't need GLaDOS nor I anymore.
Well, this is the part where he kills us.
Hello. This is the part where I kill you.
Yeah, I think this is the part where he kills me. Not if I can kill him first. So I trek through hordes of obstacles that he put in place while GLaDOS thinks of a plan.
Crushing's too good for him. First, he'll spend a year in the incinerator. Year 2, cryogenic refrigeration wing. Then 10 years in the chamber I built where all the robots scream at you. Then I'll kill him.
Why do you have a room exclusively for robots screaming? I get to him, and it's a great fight of tricking him into hitting himself with bombs and placing cores on him in order to corrupt him to do another core transfer.
Part 5! Booby trap the stalemate button! What? Are you still alive? You are joking! You have got to be kidding me! Well, I'm still in control, and I have no idea how to fix this place. Oh, you had to play bloody cat and mouse, didn't you? While people were trying to work. Yeah, well now we're all gonna pay the price, because we're all gonna bloody die. Oh, space! Ah! Let go! We're in space! Ah, let go! Let go! I'm still connected! I can pull myself in! I can still fix this!
I already fixed it, and you are not coming back.
Oh no! Change your plans! Hold on to me! Tighter! Ah! Grab me! Grab me!
GLaDOS decides that I am just too hard to kill and finally sets me free. Portal 2 was so much better than its predecessor. Everything from the scenery, the characters, the acting, the puzzles, the difficulty curve, the music, the boss fight, everything was just better. There are so many different environments, with Aperture being run down to being fixed and seeing how Aperture was in the previous decades. All of the characters were so much more alive, especially GLaDOS. She sounded much less like a robot and more like an AI. That goes the same with Wheatley, who was just so lovable and funny. Too bad he's British. Easily the best character was Cave Johnson. All of his pre-recorded messages are comedy gold, while telling a sad story of a man who had everything taken away from him. The difficulty progressed at a perfect rate, with introducing new tools one by one, and then forcing you to think creatively once they combined all of the tools at once. The music stood out in this game. The Moon song alone can just easily build up tension. But it's not just the music, the sound effects as well. They have special sounds for when you use any of the gels that enhance what your character is doing. Portal 2 also introduced a co-op campaign with 2 robots, Atlas and Peabody, so that you and your friends can play together. Okay, so I'm going to...
My flesh!
Alright, down. Down. Down.
Wait,
What
wait,
are you
wait,
doing?
wait, wait.
Oh, I messed up. I messed up greatly. No, what do you think you're doing? What do you mean? Put the thing in there. Can't you see what I'm trying to do? Put the damn portal down. What do you think you're doing? There is one issue with the game, and that is its loading screens. It got to the point where I dreaded going to a double door because I knew it was just going to be another loading screen. But when loading screens are your biggest issue, you have 2 great games. Portal 1 and 2's greatest strength is its humor. Just this dark and dry humor puts this puzzle game above the rest. And the music was great to listen to, especially the 2 end-credit songs. People love these games so much they make their own mods and sometimes their own standalone games. But there's never been an official one. And that's no surprise there's no Portal 3, because how do you live up to the hype? How do you make a better game than what is arguably already a perfect game?
Why do you keep robbing banks and then somehow magically you're just not there? Like every time. Like, stop!
Well, that's when you gotta start thinking with portals.